Let's talk about Cunha, somebody who United really wanted in summer, somebody we thought that we really needed, who I still think that we really need in the team, somebody who absolutely cooked for Wolves last season, 15 goals, 8 assists, some stats like that. Somebody who has proven to be one of the best players in the Premier League. Like when you're talking about all those like other players, like the other ones, when you're talking about like, oh, Salah is the best player in the Premier League, Haaland is the best player in the Premier League. We're now thinking about the other ones, the same way we're thinking about like Semenyo now. Is the same way we're thinking about Cunha, one of the other guys. Semenyo, Cunha, Mbeumo. We have two of them in our team right now, but we're talking about Cunha. So these are guys who have proven their class, who have shown their class in the league, right? And Cunha is one of them. Cunha is a baller. There's no debate about it whatsoever. But right now, he's kind of struggling at United. Right now, things are not really going according to plan. He hasn't scored, he hasn't assisted, but it's not about stats today. It's even about what I've seen on the pitch. But I'm here to tell you right now that I don't think that everything that's going on with Cunha right now is all that bad. I don't think that, like, I think people are kind of blowing things out of proportion with the whole Cunha thing. And, there's multiple reasons why. I'm looking at the Brentford game, right? I'm looking at the Brentford game especially, actually. And I'm thinking about that game. I'm thinking, like, people are using that game to kind of say that, oh, what Cunha doing? He was kind of selfish, trying to just shoot from anywhere kind of thing. But I'm looking at that game and I'm thinking that, like, Cunha was one of the best players, in my opinion, on the pitch. In my opinion, I don't know, like, that was a terrible game. No United player, you could say, had a good game. But in my opinion, Cunha was the best player on the pitch. Cunha, and the reason why is because Cunha was one of the only people trying to make something happen. Like, I don't think that people understand that, right? Like, United, we have kind of lacked this thing, and we're kind of like, we know this. We have lacked that player that is willing to take responsibility in the team, that has that like mindset of like, I'm the man, a maverick. A maverick. We have lacked that over the years. Like, we've said that Rashford was not willing to take the responsibility. We've said that Pogba was not willing to take the responsibility. The closest we have gotten is Bruno. Bruno, who came and is willing to take all the responsibility on his head, willing to take all the criticism that comes with the responsibility as well. But then we said that, oh, Bruno cannot be the only person in the team. We need more. And then now we've got another player in Cunha who is willing to take the responsibility, who, when he sees his club struggling, he's willing to step up and say, don't worry, I'll get you guys out of this hole. That's exactly what he did for Wolves last season. That's exactly what we signed in this season because we needed a maverick. Yes, he fits the whole Amorim system, whatever it is, but we needed a maverick in the team. We just want his mentality. So I don't look at that Brentford game and think Cunha had a terrible game. I don't look at that Brentford game and think, what's Cunha doing? I look at that game and I think, this is what I wanted. I want somebody who, when the team is struggling, who, when we look like we have nothing, absolutely nothing, shows that, like, I'm willing to step up. I'm willing to try and do something for this team. I'm willing to get us out of the gutter and win us a game by myself if I have to. I've seen that multiple times. Players that are willing to like take the game by the scruff of the neck. I've seen it with Hazard, obviously the GOATs, Messi, Ronaldo, the best players in the world, Neymar, Mbappe, all these guys. I've seen it with these guys taking the game by the scruff of the neck, Vinny, and saying that I'll win you this game. Don't worry about it. I know that it doesn't look like we'll win this game, but I got you. I've seen it, right? So I'm looking at Cunha, who has that same mentality. Is it to the same level as all these players I just mentioned? Maybe not. But he has that same mentality of a maverick, that same mentality of, I will take the responsibility of carrying this team out of the gutter. And that's what he has tried to show on multiple occasions. And yes, I can see what people are saying. I can see where they say, oh, you're being kind of selfish. You have other players in the team. What are you doing? But at the same time, like, that's what he does. That's what he does. Now, am I saying that you should be this player that doesn't pass the ball, that doesn't like create chances for people in better situations than him? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he doesn't need to change. I'm not saying that he doesn't need to adapt. I'm not saying that he doesn't need to like comprehend the fact that he's not the only player in the team that can make something happen. But the way I see it here, I'm looking at a team who has struggled, who has shown to struggle to create chances, score goals, and win games. And I'm looking at a player who has said, no, F that. Like, I'm going to carry this team. I'm going to help the team that I play for. I'm going to help this badge. And I'm going to play for the badge. And I'm going to carry this team to victory. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I saw in the Brentford game. I didn't see a selfish player. I didn't see a player who is in over his head. I saw a player trying to help his team. And you look at Cunha right now, you look at the Mount situation. Mount obviously started against Sunderland. And people are trying to compare them. People are trying to say, oh, who's better between Cunha and Mount? Who should be starting between Cunha and Mount? And the thing about both of these players is that they offer completely different things. They offer completely different things. Cunha is a maverick. Cunha is a ball carrier. Cunha is like someone that is willing to take the game by the scruff of the neck. Mount is more of like a jeller. Mount to gel with the team, Mount to gel with players, Mount to kind of build good relationships with players. And it's not like he's not necessarily a maverick. You're not going to depend on Mount to like take the game by the scruff of the neck. You can depend on him that like like make things happen when the team is playing well. You can kind of depend on him to be that glue that is making things happen. Like Bruno needs help, Mount is helping out. Dogo needs help, Mount is helping out. Mino needs help, Mount is helping out. You can kind of depend on him to be that player. You're seeing two different players that two different profiles as well. Cunha is more of like a ball carrier. Mount is more like a safe passer. Flicks, tricks, touches here and there. But like they're the same. They kind of like this. Obviously, play the same position, which is why they compare them. But they're different sorts of players, so maybe you shouldn't compare them too much. And I think that these two players can offer completely different things depending on the game that you're playing. I think that it's good that we have these two players because you're looking at Mount and you're thinking, we can play this guy in games where we need that heavy press. We can play this guy in games where maybe there's a low block and we need someone to like kind of give us those intricate passes, kind of build relationship with other people on the pitch to kind of like break down this team. And looking at Cunha, who can kind of help us in like transition games, carry the ball further up the pitch, maybe games where we're struggling to like where we need like an outside man helping us carry the ball from deep or something like that. Like Cunha can step up in those situations. We need someone to like take the game by the scruff of the neck. We need someone to have an immediate impact in the game or something. Bring on Cunha. Bring on Mott as well if you're not an impact in the game. But you get what I mean. Like these guys are different players who play the same position, right? So it's even good that we have both of them. But I'm looking at Cunha here, and I'm just thinking about the fact that like everybody's saying that like he has had a tough start to the season, which is true. He has had a tough start to the season. He has given us games, right? Like the Arsenal game, we all praised him after that game. We saw the Maverick performance that he put up. Obviously, he has had his injuries here and there. He came back against Brentford and he looked, in my opinion, good. He didn't look bad. Yes, he was doing the whole Maverick thing. Yes, he needed to pass the ball more, this and that. But I don't think that is a bad thing that we have a Maverick in our team. I don't think that is a bad thing that we have a player that is willing to take the game by the scruff of the neck, willing to try and make something happen. I don't think that is a bad thing. I think that people are kind of like bullying it out of proportion a bit. I think that people are kind of saying that like, oh, like we don't want that in our team. And people are kind of trying to downplay the fact that Cunha is a very good player, that Cunha has that quality. Like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want another situation where we say that we signed another player who maybe wasn't as good as we thought he was. Cunha is a good player. See, with Cunha, with Umbremo, I'm not going to hear it. I'm not going to hear, oh, these guys maybe were not just as good. Maybe why did we sign them? And I'm not going to hear that because Cunha has proven to be a good player. We know that he's a good player. We're not going to say that Cunha is a flop. We're not going to say that maybe he was just never that good. Same thing with Mbeumo. But we're talking about Cunha. Cunha is a very good player. I'm not going to hear it. See, like the same way people are blindly backing Amorim, I'm going to blindly back Cunha, knowing that he's a good player, knowing what he can offer this team, knowing that he's exactly what we need at the time. At that time, maybe we thought that, oh, maybe Mount is not dependable. We don't know how fit he's going to be this season, this and that. But we also needed a player like Cunha who is willing to take games by the scruff of the neck, who is willing to take that pressure off a player like Bruno and make things happen. That's what we needed. We needed a player like Cunha. We said that Rashford couldn't offer it. We obviously couldn't depend on Garnacho. Haaland was not the man. Anthony was not the man. Obviously, Sancho was not the man. So we signed a Cunha who I think is the man, who I think the right age, the right profile, the right mindset. So I think that Cunha is honestly perfect for Man United. I think that he had a tough start to the season, but I don't think that is that crazy. Like I think people are blowing out of proportion. He was obviously injured for a few games there. So maybe now he can actually show what he has to offer this team, right? Like obviously he does need to adapt, he does need to change up a little, he does need to accept that he's not the only player in the team that can make things happen. Like, he does need to have that mindset switch that like, he's no longer in Wolves anymore. But at the same time, it's not as if like United are this team that are winning week in, week out, and when Cunha comes on, it kind of changes. Like when he comes on, we're kind of struggling more than we're already struggling before. So let's calm down and let's just accept the fact that Cunha is a baller. Let's accept the fact that we have a baller in our team willing to take that responsibility, and let's let him cook. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Cunha situation. But with that comes the end of this episode. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I always appreciate it. I'm going to try and stay consistent, keep on pushing out episodes, and I just hope to see you guys again next time. Safe.